when I was younger, I had a calling for Christ. A lot of school-oriented Christianity, a lot of going to church. My family was deep into it. When I started to develop my own ideas of Christianity, that's when I started to slip away. We moved out to Benton City is when I decided to abandon my religion and to seek out things that would benefit me, like drugs and alcohol and sex. And I slowly started to become more hateful towards people, and that's when I started to hit my downward spiral. Finally took the step away from Christ completely. I decided to travel to a trade school further down south where I developed carpentry skills and continued to use and support my atheism. Soon after that, I become homeless and started traveling a lot. I started selling more than just marijuana. I started selling harder drugs and using harder drugs. And I got into some rough crowds. I started moving along California and continuing to use and sell. Couldn't control myself. All I wanted to do was have fun. All the doors led straight to Seattle, where I had developed this relationship with this church. Their prime objective was to take homeless teenagers and give them clothing, food, and shelter. And I took advantage of it. Instead of selling, I continued to use until all my resources were used up. And I had left Seattle. I made it out to Colorado, just dead-end job after dead-end job, just continuing to work. I left Colorado with a girl out to Ohio. I helped grow and cultivate marijuana. I had a job and money and a house, and eventually it just came crashing down and ended, and I had to leave. I met up with my friend that I left Seattle with. I got some work with him and I started living with him. Soon after winter had started, I got more depressed, and eventually I just was trying to make so much money that my delivery job meant more to me than people's safety on the road. And I had gotten into a car accident and put somebody into the hospital. A couple days later, I found out that he was okay. My job and my employment both lapsed, so I was living on the streets again. At this point, I pretty much had enough, and I came to Washington to live with my parents. I feel at this time that God was leading me to come back to church, but I mean, I can't explain why I had the motion to go back. I met somebody at Bethel, which then led me to coming back to church regularly. He started explaining things that I've never been explained to me before. At this point, I was just so deeply in need of happiness. I asked him why do I deserve to be saved? And the truth was that I didn't. I did not deserve it. No one deserves what Christ has done for us, but it's there, and all we need to do is say yes. A few weeks later, I said yes, and a few weeks after that, I was baptized. I committed my life to Jesus again, and this time it was for real. There is no going back. I was just so hungry for it, his message and his word. I continued to pray, and my prayers were answered. A organization called YWAM, Youth with a Mission. I got accepted, and I am going to be discipling to others and showing them that God has given us a chance to be saved. And all we have to do is accept that. The hardest thing to do is to talk to people about Christ. You know, you may have the passion for it in your small groups and in church, but then it's like to go out and to talk to somebody that you have no relationship with is truly a challenge. It's not a matter of sharing the kingdom, but what the kingdom looks like in you, and leading by example and showing them that you're slow to anger and that you treat others as you would be treated, and loving God with your heart and your soul and your mind and your body. They look at you and they see this transformation that they don't understand, and they ask, and then that is a great opportunity. The feeling that I get waking up and praising God, the feeling that I get from reading the Bible, the feeling that I get from talking to my community and having that community that backs me up. I want every single person to feel that unforgettable feeling when you dedicate your life to Christ. That joy standing in front of my King, that's the joy that I want to seek after. I'm tired of living a mediocre life. I want to live my life for my King. Every part of my life has been a turning point. I should be dead right now. The things that I've done, I should definitely be dead. But there's always been a presence that has been guiding me and protecting me through all the years that I've been homeless and I've been a drug user. Now that I look back on it, I am truly grateful. God spoke to me and was like, man, like, it is time for you to go home. It is time for you to grow up. And you can't do it by yourself. And I believe that's why I sought the church out, so that they could help me. Because he's right, I can't do it on my own. I need a community, and I need people that are going to be there, that aren't going to run when it gets tough.